Let me show y'all how I took this boring wall in our office and turned it into this amazing feature wall. I absolutely love it, but it was hard work. I started out by taking this drywall off, and I'm new to renovations, and especially old house renovations. So I was a little surprised when I started taking the drywall off and found these wood strips, and I had to Google and figure out what that was. Google said that it was lattice because these used to be plaster walls. And so they would put up lattice and then put the plaster on the lattice, and that would be the wall. Apparently, whoever lived here before us took the plaster off, but didn't take the lattice off. So they just drywalled on top of the lattice. That's what we're looking at here. I'm actually glad because I don't know what I would have done with plaster walls. I don't know the difference between plaster and drywall. So anyway, I started off doing all of this drywall by hand because I thought it was like the easiest way. You could just grab it and pull it off. But you'll see on the next side, I actually got smart and used a Sawzall. It was much easier because you could get it off in like giant chunks. Here's after the drywall's taken off. And the next step was to start taking the lattice off. I just dove in and started pulling it off. Y'all, you'll see I'm struggling with this. It was not as easy to take off as I thought it was going to be. Mainly because this house is 100 years old and they were like not meant to be renovated or to come apart. They were definitely meant to last. These are the nails that were holding the lattice in. I think these were like homemade nails from 100 years ago. They were ridiculously big. I did remember to wear protection some of the time. Here's all the plaster that was like falling down to the bottom. Magic trick. Ta-da! I cut the rest of that out because whatever, it was all the same. Just me struggling to get those giant nails out of the lattice and get the lattice off the wall. So here I am painting the back of the wall. Actually, this is not paint, it's stain. But same thing. Next step was to cut the shelves to length. Shout out high school woodworking class to teach me how to do this stuff. You can see this is where I marked where the studs were, so I was going to need to cut those parts out in order to fit them on the wall. And there was two ways I could do it. You can either like this, do the holes, because that just helps the saw to get through there, or you'll see on the next one, I forgot to do the holes first, so I started it and then I did the holes next. Perfect fit, yay! I mean, I'm basically a carpenter at this point. So next I had to do the pocket holes. This is super easy. I feel like I was intimidated when I first heard about doing this, but I love it and it's really not hard. And then next is like the most tedious part, which was like leveling the shelves because you have to level them both ways. That way none of your stuff falls off. And I was just figuring it out as I went. I was just using like basic wood clamps to go under the shelf to hold them up. That way I could level it all out, and then I came through and screwed them on. I told y'all this was the tedious part, and then some of the boards were not even straight, so I would have to like straighten it or level it the best I could, and then like use muscles to straighten it and then screw it in. But it all worked out in the end. Here's a quick look at how it was turning out. And then here's just a closer up of me leveling out the different shelves. Don't mind the green up there. I thought I was gonna like green going on the back of the bookshelf, but yeah, I didn't. Yay, shelves! And don't worry, I painted over the green. And here's the finished product. I absolutely love it now. Even the contractor told me I didn't have space for shelves, but I'm happy I proved them wrong.